Alright guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk about the new updates that are coming to Battlefield 1 very soon. Now I'm sure most people have already seen some kind of video about it or read about the new patch that's coming, so I will keep the summary as short as possible. Here we go. Recently DICE announced that they were making some huge changes to the game, and they consisted of two things. The first thing is weapon balance, and the second thing is adding ticket bleeding back into Conquest. Again, not to get too far into detail because that's not really what the video is about, but it looks like we have increased minimum and maximum damage for most weapons, mainly LMGs. Also some buffs to shotgun accuracy, and buffs to most medic rifles as well. And then for Conquest, they went back to the old way they used to do it in Battlefield games, where you have to have a majority of the flags to get score, as opposed to this really weird new way they did it originally in this game. Again, we're going through these very fast, but these are both such huge deals to the game and are going to change gameplay so much. It's one thing to go in and do a hot fix and buff one weapon or nerf one weapon here or there, but this was a massive overhaul of gunplay. And for Conquest, it's going to change the way that people play the game from the ground up. I think what they want to do, and I hope it works, I really do. I hope you're going to see your squads going from flag to flag now and cooperating more and having more medics out in the field. Because personally, that was a huge problem for me. Now, I don't know about you guys, but between the Xbox One and the PC, I've personally put several days of in-game time into this game, and I hardly ever get revived by someone playing the medic class. Well, let me back up just for a second. In Conquest, because in Operations, people actually do play medic quite a bit, I think. Anyway, back to the topic at hand here. This huge update that's coming, this game-changing update. Everybody is freaking out. Everyone's so excited about this because it's supposedly going to fix the game. You look at the big Battlefield YouTubers, all their titles are, oh, the game is fixed. This is going to fix the game for good. Or like, oh, they finally listened to the community, which is good. Honestly, I really do think it's good. But I have a huge problem with this, man. It's October of 2017. This game came out 1 year ago, and they're just now, quote, fixing the game. These are changes that people have been asking for since the beta last summer. In summer of 2016, people were complaining in the beta about these things. You had the Automatico spam, you had the sniper spam, and you had the hardcore Battlefield fans complaining about the new scoring system in Conquest. I mean, honestly, I think it's great that they're fixing it, but waiting an entire year to do so, that's just unacceptable, man. As I said before, this game is 1 year old, and in this day and age, dude, 1 year for a multiplayer game is old. I mean, people get sick of a game after a couple of months now. The attention span of gamers is not what it used to be. I think we know that. And that's because that the way the games are now, we're used to being fed constant updates and new content for games. Especially in the first-person shooter genre. I mean, the market is so saturated now that they have to give us new content and updates constantly to even retain a player base, which is vital to the survival of any online FPS game. But this game getting this massive fixing holy grail update after 1 year, that doesn't say to me that the developers listened to the community. It tells me that they ignored the community for a year. And I think that people singing their praises are setting an extremely dangerous precedent for developers in the future. And there are tons of other examples of developers that have gotten away with shady tactics in the last couple of years. But I don't know if I necessarily classify this as shady. It's just pretty shitty. And singing their praises for leaving us out in the cold when we needed help for the last year is just wildly irresponsible of a community. Myself, personally, I bought this game twice. I got it on the Xbox One with the Season Pass, so that's $60 for the base game, then another $50 for the Season Pass, $110. And then I also bought it on the PC when they had a sale for another $60 with all the DLC included. So altogether, I paid $170 to put up with Automatico spam and useless LMGs and medic rifles for a year. Does anybody else see a problem with this? Now in October of 2017, they're gonna fix the game and we're good to go for the next year until Battlefield 2018 comes out. But it's almost too late, man. Destiny 2 comes out this month. Call of Duty World War II comes out next month. I mean, who's gonna have time to play a year-old game with all these new games coming out? And you already know, it doesn't even need to be said, Destiny and Call of Duty are not going to be pushing back their DLC because it's not ready on time, or they're not going to be waiting an entire year to do a game-fixing patch. Am I going to put Battlefield 1 on the shelf forever? No, I'm going to play it now and then still. Actually, I'm still going to probably play a decent amount, because regardless of the circumstances of the update, I'm sure it's still going to be a good update. But at the end of the day, I can't get in the camp that's singing the praises of DICE for doing this at this time. It just doesn't make sense. If developers are going to make these games and make these promises that they're going to support them and update them, then they should be held accountable. So that's about it. I hope this never happens again with any other game. I really don't. And I guess for this situation, you could say better late than never. But with the technology we have today and the ability of the developers to be in touch with the community and get feedback and do these hot fixes, it should have never happened. Really, it shouldn't have. But thank you to anyone who listened. And if you liked what you heard, please give a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And I'll see you in the next video.